Okay, I got an email today saying that the NaNoWriMo website has updated and you can officially join the 2023 NaNoWriMo challenge, which reminded me that we are heading towards the end of the year and NaNoWriMo is very close. I hopped onto the website and there is a countdown, which is terrifying. NaNoWriMo is 40 days away, and so I thought I'd share my plans. If you've never heard of NaNoWriMo, NaNoWriMo stands for National Novel Writing Month. It's an event held in November where you have 30 days to write 50,000 words, which is so much work, but so fun. It's really great to get to come together with a whole community of writers, some people writing for fun, others professionally, some people writing fan fiction or original fiction. It's a whole lot of fun, and that community aspect is really what makes it. To quickly break down my history with NaNoWriMo, I have participated in the official November event maybe 3 times in the past. I've done a bunch of camp events, which are kind of like non-official NaNoWriMos. You can bend the rules a little bit, set your own goals. They're held in April and July, but I've only won once, and that was last November. I wrote 50,000 words in 28 days and ended it while I had COVID, which I still can't believe. Like, somehow I found the energy to write. But yeah, I'm very proud of myself for winning. Like, 50,000 words is a lot of words for 30 days, and I'm just very proud of myself. I tried to do camp earlier this year and it just didn't work for me. I was not motivated at all, and so I decided to go all in this November. I know what project I want to work on. It's a story I've had in my head for a while. I did technically try to write it once for a camp. I think it was April camp 2020 maybe. I got 20,000 words in. My goal was 25, so not too far behind, but my goal was to just get a very rough draft to understand the story a little more, and about halfway through I realized that everything had to change, and so I found it really hard to continue. But it's been a long time since then. I understand my story a lot better. I could tell you any amount of details about the characters or the world, but right now it's kind of a all vibes no plot kind of situation. I don't mind, really. There is still 40 days, so I've got time to like work out a little more of the plot, and it is just a first draft, so I'm okay with there being a few holes, but I know the overall story. I just don't know how we get there fully. In my first draft of the story, there was a lot of focus on the start, and now I'm much more focused on the end, and so the middle is just a little vague. But I fully intend on doing a proper Preptober. If you've never heard of Preptober, it's basically just the fun word we give to the time in October that we use to plan for NaNoWriMo. Some people really schedule it and do classes and really like have their lives figured out. I don't. I just don't. But I want to, by the time November hits, have an outline done. I want to have like character sheets and like, you know, I want to be a little bit prepared. I used to consider myself a pantser. I used to think that going into stories with no real idea was how I work, but I've realized definitely last November taught me that I work much better when I have an outline. The start of Nano is great. You go in, you're excited, you have all these ideas, but when you hit a third, halfway through the story, you can really easily like lose track of what you're doing, lose sight of the end goal. And so having an outline that you can turn to and say, okay, I'm up to chapter 17. What is meant to happen right now? Because I never really know. I refer back to my outlines constantly, but I see them as working documents. They are shifting and changing as I go. I scribble things in everywhere. I flip the page around and write on the back. I do like to have a physical one. I typically have like bullet points on my computer, but a physical sheet as well, just to be able to refer to. I don't know why. I find it a lot easier when I can have my document up and then look over and say, okay, this is where I am, this is what I need to do. And I know it's the same on the computer, but I do work a little better when I've got a physical object. So what are my plans for the next 40 days and then the 30 after that? Well, I vlogged my nano experience last year, so I'll leave those links below if you'd like to see that, but also I will be doing it again. I am really bad at motivating myself, and the vlog was just that like little bit of accountability that I needed. I was setting an alarm early to wake up and write, and I liked knowing that like, yes, it's early and I'm dragging myself out of bed, but I am also going to set up a camera and like get a video of the sunrise, or like show the light in my room changing as I'm writing this morning. You know, just having that accountability is really helpful for my motivation. My goal is maybe obviously to get 50,000 words done. I don't think that's going to be a full first draft, but I am an underwriter, so it might be. I've been thinking about this story for years, and I still don't know if it's going to be a single book or if this story, this arc, should be split in half, maybe. Duology, maybe trilogy. I don't know, but the more I think about the story, the more it's been expanding, and I'm just not sure what to do. But my goal is to tell the entire story in these 50,000 words, and then I can expand it later. Or if I don't finish the whole story, I do still want to get the 50,000 words. The goal is 50,000 words because that is what a novel is. Before 50,000 words, it's not classed as a novel. Different genres, however, have different typical word counts. For this book in particular, you're looking at closer to the 100,000, so 50,000 is not going to be like a full fleshed out draft, but it's going to be something. And once you have something, you can edit, you can rework. You can't make something better before it exists. So my goal this nano is to make it exist. I'm gonna say this here again for accountability, but I want to do a Preptober vlog so that I actually prep. That's been my problem with camp this year. I didn't prep at all, and it just got very difficult. I tried to work on this project earlier this year and I just couldn't. But now I think maybe I'm in a better place to do that. I don't think I'm going to share many details about the story itself, just because it is still changing. Like, everything is changing. Character names are still changing. There are like 3 characters that we're following through this story. I think I'm certain on the main character's name, maybe. But the side character that came into existence first was given a placeholder name from the very start that I came to really love but couldn't use. I guess I can tell you because it's not what it is, but I was calling him Lancelot, but his name can't be Lancelot because one, Arthurian legend doesn't exist in this world, so it doesn't make sense, but also like I'm not naming a character Lancelot. But I have found a new name that I like for him, but I don't know if it fits, so we'll see. The other character, I thought I was sure on their name, and now I'm not. So yeah, that is one of the things I need to work out during Preptober, because I have written a draft in the past with placeholder names, random names, and also just like in full caps like brother or like friend. And it gets very messy very quickly, and I completely lost track of people. So yes, there is a side character who's got a name. The other day, I think I came up with a name for a side character. Maybe. But it's not a real name, and I'm trying to think like, where is the line? It is kind of like a fantasy, so I mean, you can call people whatever because it's a fantasy, and people in fantasy always have weird names. But I'm like, how fantasy is too fantasy for a name, if that makes any sense. I feel like you know what I mean, because sometimes you read a fantasy and you're like, what? Why would you name someone this? But yeah, I don't know. That's stuff I need to work out in October. What's on my mind right now, because I was going to add this project into the NaNoWriMo website, but I need a project name. I, for the past many years, have used the, I guess, naming convention of project, random word, But I don't know if I want to do that anymore. This story used to be, in my head, Project Princess, but that doesn't have the vibes I'm going for anymore. And then I was gonna call it Project and then the main character's name, but I just don't know. I'm so confused and I can't think of like any relevant words or like objects. So I guess that's the top of my list. Within the next few days, I want to work out a project name and then I can add it to the NaNoWriMo website and then maybe make a plan for Preptober. I really want to like be organized this time. I can't do like a daily task kind of plan just because I'm on holiday right now. Hi, this is not my house. And I am not going to be home until a bit into October, so I just need to like have things to be done in general, but nothing that like has to be done on a certain day. But once I'm home, I'm going to like really try and schedule myself because I'm determined to make Nano work. There are a few things that went into me succeeding last year. One of them was the accountability of the vlog. It meant that every morning I was waking up and I had to get out of bed. It meant that every night if I hadn't hit my word count goal, I had to stay up. It also meant that like in my free time, I was editing the vlog, so my mind was still in the story, which I think was really important. That's not something I've actively thought about, but I think that really helped. I also had a reward system. I had daily rewards for hitting my word count, which I never actually like used. I basically like filled the jar with slips of paper and every day I would pull one out when I hit my word count goal. I didn't actually do them every day because a lot of the time I was hitting my goal late at night and was too tired to bother. But I had like milestone rewards. So every 10,000 words I got something, whether that was ordering dinner in or getting to buy myself a book or anything like that. So I'm gonna have to look through all my old documents and see what planning I did for all of that. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually getting very excited about this now. Wow. But I think I'm gonna stop there for now. Are you doing Nano this year? Have you ever done NaNoWriMo? What do you do to prepare? Because clearly I could maybe use the help. Last year's Nano vlogs will be in the description. And if you'd like to see my Preptober and NaNoWriMo vlogs this year, you can subscribe. They will be coming. But yes, that's all from me today and I'll see you next time. Bye.